Welcome to another video. Today is the brand new Toyota Fortuner 2021 facelifted version 4x4 off-road review. We are just on our way back now from a roughly 2,000 kilometer overlanding trip up to the border of Namibia, where South Africa borders with Namibia. We have just completed the Namakwa 4x4 Eco Trail, which was a 4x4 trail that's approximately, I think, about 350 kilometers long, and it took us about 5 days to do it. And I believe we now have the required experience to give the car a decent 4x4 and off-roading review. By the way, about the 4x4 trail, in a couple days, maybe weeks, I'm not quite sure, I will be releasing my full series on that trip. So do stay tuned and click that little subscribe button in your bottom right so that you will be notified when that releases. But anyway, back to the review. So during our trip, we encountered many different off-road situations, such as long gravel roads that were badly corrugated, deep and thick sand, rocky climbs and descents that were slippery, water crossings, deep ruts, and some seriously testing cross axles, and what else? Some technical driving between boulders and stuff like that. Some driving over big boulders and driving up and down them. And yeah, so I think we have some couple good experiences to base our review off of. As a control for our review, we were driving with a 2010 Land Rover Defender Puma 110, and I think most of our comparisons will be made according to its performance compared to that vehicle. Now, let's start with the corrugated roads. The car basically handled really well on the corrugated roads. We never lost traction, even going at like pretty decent paces around sharp bends. At low speeds, obviously the bumps, the corrugations were quite bumpy, but you know, as you speed up it gets a lot better, and the car was actually really comfortable, like surprisingly comfortable on the corrugations. And also there was not even a single rattle coming from the car. I think my fridge slide in the back rattled a little bit, but nothing from the car actually, like the car itself. So that was really impressive. And then to the thick sand. The thick sand is actually more of a test of your tire pressures, but also obviously the 4x4 system. I think we went down to 1.2 bars in the front and 1.5 bars in the back for the tire pressures, and that worked like really well. Literally just glided over the sand. And the tires that I have on are not the standard tires that come with the vehicle. I have put on BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s. They're quite pricey, but in terrains like that where it's really rocky, there's sharp rocks, there's thick sand, you really need a tough tire and with good grip, and these are exceptional. You cannot find a better tire than these for those kind of situations, and they're great on road as well, but that's a completely different story. Now back to sand driving. Sand driving is easy. with the right tire pressures, this car just floated over the sand. There was not a single situation where we even almost got stuck. There was one situation where we were driving up the sharp face of a sand dune and we didn't have enough momentum, so we simply just stopped, reversed, tried again, and we made it all the way up, and that was that was really easy. So I was very impressed with the sand driving. I thought it would be more of a problem, especially since the car was very heavily laden. But yeah, the car handled it well. Now, water crossings, these were also simple. There was nothing too deep. I think for us it was just above knee height, and I'm an average sized person, I guess, like 1.85 meters. So I'm not quite sure how deep that is, but the car handled it flawlessly. It was just above the bottom rim of the door, the water, and nothing leaked in. The bottom of the water, the surface, no, not the surface, the bottom, there was some rocks and mud. Never lost traction, did really well. This is really a very impressive 4x4 system with the active traction control. It's, my mind was blown. And it's a lot of fun to drive as well. Now, when it comes to the deep ruts, the deep ruts with a cross axle, I was skeptical. Because we first drove down it, because it was on an uphill, so we first drove down, and I was pretty sure that the car's belly would rub against the center island, because it was quite sandy and the ruts were deep and the center island was quite high. So I was pretty sure we were going to bottom out on that, but surprisingly the ground clearance is better than you think. So that went well. But then we turned around the next day and came back up that way, and I was a bit worried that we would pass that, but put the car low range, second gear, and literally just crawled up there. There was a time when both front right and back left wheels were completely off of the ground, and the active traction control system immediately kicked in, braked those wheels, and the remaining two wheels drove us straight out. I was impressed, and I don't have words for it. The system is amazing. Steep, rocky, and slippery inclines. Now these went very well. Also, the low range first gear, and just let the car slowly idle its way up to the top of the mountain. This was really good. The automatic gearbox is also really good. So in low range first gear, just let it idle up, and you can actually not concentrate on your accelerator. You can just concentrate on exactly where you place the wheels, so as to minimize damage to the underbody of the car or to the wheels themselves. You would think that because this is quite a long car, that the turning circle is not very good, but it is, in fact, it is actually excellent. There were some situations where we had to weave in between big boulders with just a couple centimeters to spare on either side, and this car's tight handling and very tight turning radius came into play there and helped us a lot. Where the Defender had to stop, reverse, and make the turn again, we could easily just go around the corner, just turn sharply, and make the turn happily. So a tight turning circle really does help you off-road. And the car also has a very handy feature here on the dashboard in front of you that shows you the current angle of your wheels. And in thick sand, that helps a lot, especially when your steering wheel has been turned a couple times and you don't know which direction your wheels are facing. You can easily just look on the dashboard and straighten them out. Now, in comparison with the Defender, this car could easily handle all of the obstacles that the Defender did, but with more comfort. The Defender, however, does have a bit better ground clearance and better departure and approach angles, but we never found that this was a problem, as there were quite a couple of times where we had to drive up big rocks and then back down the other side of the big boulders, where the approach and departure angles were tested. I was pretty sure that we would rub either the chin or the tail, but to my surprise, we didn't, and the approach and departure angles are actually excellent for most four-wheel driving situations. Now, obviously this car is not a hardcore off-roader that you're going to climb to the top of mountains with, where there isn't a path or anything, but for your, I would say 90% of your 4x4ing needs, even more, this car is excellent. Excellent. It is unstoppable on the trails that we went on, and as an added bonus, it is incredible on-road. So this car, literally, it makes the perfect all-rounder. But don't take my word for it. Get your hands on one of these guys and take it for a test drive, or perhaps even consider getting yourself one, because I have done now about 4,000 Ks in this car, and I'm absolutely loving it. I think it is the ideal touring car and overlanding. The one thing that I might upgrade though in the future is suspension, because we were very heavily laden. We had 40 litres of extra fuel, so that's the 80 litre fuel tank plus a 40 litres extra, and then 40 litres of fresh water, a 66 litre car fridge that was filled with food, camping equipment, clothes, camera equipment. So the car was really heavily laden, and you can see in the back it was sagging a little bit. So I might consider a suspension upgrade in the future. If there are any suspension companies watching, a sponsor would be great. But yeah, no, so even with that heavy load and the standard OEM springs, the car handled really well. There was no adverse effects, shall I say, from the heavy load. The wheel travel was still good, the articulation was still good, only over like really big bumps with the car bottom out at the back. And yeah, I think our ride height was still more than good enough. We never bumped the bottom. And you know, even if you are a bit scared of bumping the bottom, you don't have to be, because there is underbody protection that comes standard with the car, which is really a great thing. And yeah, overall, it's a fantastic vehicle. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking at one. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that little thumbs up button in your bottom right corner. And if you want to see some of my future videos, like especially like the Namakwa 4x4 trail series that will be coming out soonish, hit that little subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so that you're notified when I upload my videos. And otherwise, please give my Instagram page a follow. It's at adventure.africa, and I post to that quite regularly. More often than I post to my YouTube channel, so photos and stuff. So if you want to see more of what I'm doing and what's happening with the car, go follow me there. But yeah, anyways, until next time guys. Oh, and actually before I end, please, if you have any questions or anything, leave a comment down below. I try to answer all the comments left on the videos. But yeah, anyway guys, until next time, cheers.